after Piney Point, there's a tropical storm, blew majority of that water up into the north part of the bay where it sat, really fried seagrass up there. And so that's the most unhealthy part of the bay. And so I know that's where we've been putting all of our resources. The meetings aren't, it's not a whole lot of fun sometimes in those meetings, right? So all of our money is going out of Manatee County as a result of something that happened in Manatee County. It's not always fun to sit through those meetings. But there are still resources that could come to a project like this. I love this project, and if we can steer some estuary program monies this way, I would like to.
Yeah, we could certainly fill out applications.
Yeah, I was going to add that Give a Bay for Tampa Bay programming does come down to the Manatee River area. We also look forward to Tampa Bay's participation in developing our restoration plans and implementation at the Robinson expansion that we just simply acquired.
Yeah.
And their focus,
Tampa
as you
Bay
mentioned, has
helped
been
with
Upper
that.
Bay.
They have a strong, they have a strong interest in Rattlesnake Key and whatever ends up happening there.
Yes, sir.
Crooked River Ranch, obviously we got money for that, and then the Emerson Point annexation. There's interest there for that as well. So,
Yes, sir.
maybe you're right. Maybe we steer the focus towards getting money for Rattlesnake and for the Emerson
Expansion. Yes, sir.
That might be the way to go. Great job with the sources for recycled shell. Love that, and love how many restaurants are contributing. What about our spat sources? You mentioned a company. I didn't quite catch it.
Yeah, Bay Shellfish Company, they're a local shellfish grower, and
Where are they located?
They are located in Terracea.
Okay, gotcha. Do we do anything with Charlie? You know the kind of what I'm thinking of in Rabonia, the new.
Yeah, what we're speaking of is the president of that company is Kurt Himmel. Many of you may have had a chance to talk to, but the Two Docks Shellfish Company.
Two Docks, that's it, yes.
They're more the growers.
Okay.
That take the spat and the small shell, the small larvae that are produced at
Sure.
Terracea, and they put that out in the water and they grow it to a product available for restaurants. But their science, their expertise of those two gentlemen and their company, we also depend upon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just making sure we're spreading the wealth. That's all.
Yes, sir.
Riprap going in at Carlton Arms. Is riprap, is that something that oysters will adhere to?
Yeah, so the Carlton Arms project with the riprap is not one that
No,
we're.
I know it's not ours. I'm just thinking if they're putting riprap in, is it possible that our oysters are eventually going to, attach themselves to riprap one day? That's what I'm wondering.
Yes.
Okay.
It's possible they'll attach to riprap.
That's what I was thinking. Wonderful. It's disappointing the northern bank of the river didn't turn out, that looking at your map, that it wasn't more conducive to oysters. I was really hoping the northern bank of the river would be.
Well, as someone with local knowledge, maybe you can suggest some ideas for us. I'd be happy to discuss them.
I just thought that because of the way the river, there is a slight bend in the river
Yes.
there, and so I was hoping that when there are freshwater flushes, that they would push up to that area, and it would be a good breeding ground, just from past conversations with Charlie, but it
Well, we'll
didn't
look
turn
at
out
that.
way. Okay, I mean.
Thanks for the recommendation.
Yeah, and then Wares Creek was the other one I was surprised and a little disappointed didn't work out, but it is what it is.
So, well, there's a lot of sediment there, as we all know.
That's what I figured.
The city of Palmetto is now building the Palmetto Bay estuary program with literally hundreds of reef balls located just to the east of Greenbridge and to the west of DeSoto Bridge. In that area, they're already seeing oyster recruitment on the structures they place there. One thing we didn't mention, I was just thinking about this now, that as oyster restoration is not only a key for habitat, but it's also a water quality benefit. And we are partnering with the city of Bradenton, who has been asked to make mitigation investments to offset their emergency discharges of wastewater. And they are going to be directing their fines and forfeiture agreements to Manatee County, to this program, to deploy oysters in along the Braden River shoreline from within the city limits of Bradenton through Carlton Arms. And that's going to be a great partnership for us. We stand ready to assist them and magnify their efforts in, again, in environmental recovery.
Yeah.
using oysters.
The mayor and their council they desperately want to be a bigger part of this. They're really excited about the project. They love it. So what is my last question is, you mentioned you might be able to find designs that would make oysters conducive in deep silt areas. Can you just briefly tell us what a design would look like?
So the gang over there,
Okay.
they're helping. We're testing out different prototypes to elevate the oysters off the bottom so that when portions of whatever substrate we put it on sink, the part where the oysters can settle would still be above the sediment. So we've been playing around with different techniques. We've gotten a couple natural mat materials that we can put out to help it not sink. So we are currently trying out a bunch of different options.
Okay, awesome. Very good. I love the project. It's great. I appreciate all the info. Thank you.
Are there any other questions for Natural Resources on the oyster restoration program? All right, seeing none.
Thank you.
Well, we've come to the end of the meeting, so I'm going to ask are there any commissioner agenda items that anyone would like to bring forward? Seeing none. Madam County Attorney, do you have anything? County Administrator, do you have anything? All right. Any commissioner comments? All right, seeing none, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.